happening, gang? It's your boy Retro back again with another reaction video. Yeah. Today we got another huge update. Now, you guys can probably already tell that it is going down. Just by that title alone, you guys are definitely going to want to check this one out. So we're witnessing yet another activist Democratic official on the verge of being taken down, as we now have Attorney General Bondi coming out announcing federal actions against Maine's governor, Patty Mills, in this one, guys. I'm excited to get into it, so we're not straight into it. All I ask that you guys please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and without further ado, let's get straight into it, folks. Check this one out.
Biological boy won first place in the pole vaulting competition in Maine's indoor track and field meet. He beat every other girl by a significant margin. That qualified him for regional championships. That took a spot away from a young woman in women's sports. Shame on him.
So that was the announcement about 60 minutes ago. Our next guest announcing a civil lawsuit against the state of Maine for allowing transgender athletes to compete in women's sports. The AG Bondi joins us now. And good morning to you, and thank you for your time. We got a couple things to plow through, so let's get going.
Go.
Okay, thank you. You said, I wrote down, you said you're considering pulling money from the state of Maine. So that decision has not been made, I assume, and still pending. Why would you not revoke funds from the state of Maine as the movement happened against Harvard just yesterday?
Well, we have filed the lawsuit today. The lawsuit is filed as of this morning. So, yes, we will be pulling funds from Maine. Not only that, Bill, we want to restore the records of these young women. You know, these women lost records. One didn't go to regionals, one didn't go to state, all because of a boy. All of these records should be restored, not only in Maine, but around the country, of these young women. You know, Riley Gaines started training for swimming when she was 4 years old. She made it to the Olympics. A lot of this around the country is being taken away from young women now because boys are competing in women's sports. And it's more than that. It's a safety issue. They are completely changing clothes, getting nude in young women's bathrooms. Try being the parents of these young women. It's ridiculous what they're doing. They're going in the restrooms, they're going in the locker rooms. Our young women throughout this country should not have to go through this. And under President Trump's directive, we're going to fight to keep women safe and women winning in women's sports throughout this country.
It is pretty shocking
Not even
that
a close
no
call,
women.
Dana.
It's shocking to me that no women in the previous administration came to the same conclusion. Like, I don't know. You fought for Title IX initially. Why don't you fight for these girls now? But the governor of Maine, she plans to push back. This is what she said.
Because there are maybe at most two transgender athletes competing in Maine schools right now, they decided to shut off funding. The law says if you don't like what a state or entity is doing over here, you can't take their funds away over here.
Is she wrong?
Yeah, she's very wrong. First, to say only two is shocking. We gave two examples, but these aren't transgender. First of all, these are boys in a girl's locker room. One is too many. It's ridiculous what she said, and doesn't just affect one young woman. It affects the entire team, the entire sport within that school. These young women are not being able to compete because of a boy. The boy in 2024 came in 43rd in his category in track and field. Yet, when he competed in the women's sport, he won. You know, Governor Mills shouldn't have said that, shouldn't have done this, should be supporting women in the state of Maine, and we're going to fight for him if they're not.
Okay, topic number two, this illegal that was shipped out to El Salvador, had been living in Maryland. It's a hot topic. Wall Street Journal editorial board summarizes it the following way. It says, Mr. Trump would be smarter to play the long game. He has many much bigger issues than the fate of one man that will come before the Supreme Court. By taunting the judiciary in this manner, he's inviting a rebuke on cases that carry far greater stakes, end quote. What they're saying is keep your powder dry for now. Don't blow it on this guy. What do you think about that?
Well, we did the right thing. It was one additional step in paperwork that needed to be taken. Now he is declared as a foreign transnational gang member. So, Bill, even if he Even if President Bukele said, we'll send him back, all that would happen is one more step in paperwork and he would go right back to El Salvador because he is an MS-13 member. ICE testified to that. There was a witness testimony. There was an immigration judge who testified in 2019. There was an appellate judge. All of these individuals and judges ruled that he was a member of MS-13. They are one of the most violent gangs. He is an illegal alien, and I'm sick of the liberal media saying that he's a Maryland man. He's not a Maryland man. He's a guy from El Salvador who's part of one of the most violent gangs in our country. They are organized. They are committing some of the worst crimes in our country. You know, just right here, half an hour away from where I'm standing, we arrested a MS-13 member who was one of the top in the entire country of MS-13. And he didn't have any charges until we went in there. He had 4 guns. We charged him with the gun charges. We dropped the gun charges because we're going to send him back to where he came from, El Salvador. He is now fighting us in court not to drop the gun charges so he can stay in the state. Pretty absurd.
Right. The lawyer who was suspended in the case, did he have the full information at that time? Or is there anything he could do that could get himself back into the Justice Department? I'm curious what merited his suspension in this particular case as it's evolved.
You know, when you represent the United States of America as an assistant U.S. attorney, you argue for the Constitution, for the United States of America, and for your clients. And he didn't do that. He argued against Homeland Security and the State Department. And so he's not with our office anymore, and he won't be coming back.
I want to squeeze in one more topic. There's news here in New York that deals with Letitia James. She tried to prosecute the now President Trump in his second term. I just want to read a couple things. Criminal referral, then a response from James's office here in New York. James, for both properties listed above, this deals with real estate now, going back decades, really, appears to have falsified records in order to meet certain lending requirements and receive favorable loan terms, all right? Her office responded by saying the AG James is focused every single day on protecting New Yorkers. Specialist administration weaponizes the federal government against the rule of law and the Constitution. She will not be intimidated by bullies, no matter who they are. The issue here is what property she owned and whether or not she owned it, whether or not she was married, and whether or not her father was involved in all this. Without going into the weeds of the details, this stems from a case in 1983 and the year 2000. That's a minimum of 25 years. Someone had to do some digging to find this. Am I right about that?
Yeah. Bill, the most I know about the case, I just learned from you. I saw it on breaking news this morning. This case was sent to us from Bill Pulte. We have not seen it. I inquired right before I walked out here. No one in my office has read it yet. We haven't looked at it. Of course, we'll be reviewing it. You just told me more than I've heard about it so far.
Hey, we aim to please with some breaking news of our own, indeed.
Yo, there we have it, guys. Oh my goodness, that was Attorney General Pam Bondi. Man, is she the bomb, dropping absolute bombshells. You guys can already tell she's not messing around anymore. Heck, we already seen what, 2 of these liberal activist judges being walked out their residence, walked out their office in cuffs. That was earlier today and yesterday. They're not playing around anymore. I've seen a lot of folks demanding arrest, prosecution, criminal charges being brought against these loonies on the left. Well, guess what? They just got that ball rolling. And for this Maine governor that wants to keep arguing what it seems like it's common, or should be common sense, but I guess we're just lacking that in the United States right now. But she wants to continue down this road. It's a dangerous path, as we can already see. Trump administration officials, Pam Bondi, Kash Patel, Dan Bongino, they're not going to mess around and play these games. Heck, Pam Bondi's already talked about pulling funding, pulling their resources from Maine. Now she's dancing with her freedom and her position as governor, guys. I don't know if this is the road she would like to take. I mean, it's as simple as, you know, that is not what's supposed to be happening. These girls work their entire lives, you know, in their sports, their skills, all added to that one passion, that dream of getting there and taking the championship. And for you to say that some guy can come in and just steal that right from underneath them, that's not right. That is not how this should be. We all know what's right and what's wrong. And this is one that I think we can all agree it's just wrong. It shouldn't be like this. Never in a million years would I have thought we need a Supreme Court ruling to tell us the definition of a man, definition of a female. That's not something we need. We know what's right. We know what's wrong. Someone needs to speak up, stand out, stand up against. I'm surprised the people of Maine, or the athletes at least, haven't came out with a class action civil lawsuit against this crazy governor, because she keeps, I mean, you're seeing the press conferences. She won't stop with this narrative, guys. I don't know. This is definitely not going to end up good on her part. But as far as the Trump administration and those who voted for Donald Trump, we keep on winning. I'm not going to get sick and tired of it. This is actually pretty fun to sit back and watch. But you guys, let me know your thoughts. Definitely hop in that comment section. Comments are open. I'm excited to hear what you guys are thinking on this one. Also, make sure you guys please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you enjoy more content like this, catch you guys on the next one. We